So the topic for today is paradigm of Jyotish or fundamentals of Jyotish. People who are new to astrology who want to learn the subject or have spent some time but wants to learn this in a new way. This video is going to help them. Okay, and I have listed the topics that are we going to discuss in this video. Parāśara's view of God. What are the three gunas? The derivation of variables in the Jyotish, that are the 9 Grahas, 12 Rāśis, 27 Nakshatras. Okay, the derivation of that we will discuss here. Okay, why there are only 9 Grahas? Why cannot be 10? Why there are only 12 Rāśis? Why not 13, 14? Okay, so these are the questions that we will discuss here. Who are the 33 Devatās? Okay, how a human being is created, sustained, and dissolved. What factors go into this process? Okay, how the 33 Devatās influence our life, and how can we receive their blessings. So these are the topics we will discuss in this video. So the first slide is about the definition of God according to Parāśara. In Hinduism, we tell that there is only one God, okay, Eko Brahma, and Parāśara is calling or defining God as Narayan. Yes, Narayan. Okay, he is defining God as Narayan. What do you mean by Narayan? Nara plus Ayana. Nara means human being. Ayana means goal. He who is the goal of every human being is Narayan. Okay, we all are parts of Narayan who has been separated from him. That's why we are suffering. And our goal or objective is to merge back into Narayan. Okay, such a beautiful concept, such a beautiful name, Narayan. Okay, now Parāśara divides the body of Narayan into four different parts. One is Parambrahma, Mahavishnu, Sadashiva, and Vasudeva. Okay, and further he divides the Vasudeva into two parts. The lower part, he calls it as Vishnu. Okay, this is 1/8. This is rest, 7/8. He calls this 1/8 part as Mrityu Loka. Okay, what do you mean by Mrityu Loka? Mrityu Loka means where death is happening. So we are in Mrityu Loka. That means we are in this part, 1/8 part. Okay, and this 7/8 part is Amrita Tattva. Amrita means that cannot die. Okay, so it cannot be born also. So there is a contradiction. It cannot die. It cannot be. It cannot be produced. So it's a contradiction. That's why this whole 7/8 part is unmanifested. Unmanifested part of Narayan, and this is manifested world. Everything that we can see, we can perceive, and we can imagine. Even imagine that we can imagine is under this Mrityuloka 7/8. Sorry, 1/8 part. Okay. Now Parāśara tells that there are three gunas: Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. And Narayan, because of his Leela, he is merging with these three gunas and he is creating Parambrahma, Mahavishnu, and Sadashiva. Here, Narayan is in pure Rajas Guna. He is with Bhu Shakti. Here, Narayan is with Sri Shakti in pure Sattva Guna. Narayan is with Neela Shakti in pure Tamas Guna. Okay. When Narayan is with Bhu Shakti, he is called Parambrahma. Narayan is with Sri Shakti, he is called Mahavishnu. When Narayan is with Neela Shakti, he is called Sadashiva. You can see these are pure Rajas Guna, Sattva Guna, and Tamas Guna. There is no intermixing of these gunas here. Okay, but here in Vasudeva part, there is intermixing of the gunas. In the upper part, there is Sri Shakti and Bhu Shakti, and in the lower part, all the three gunas are here: Sri Shakti, Bhu Shakti, and Neela Shakti. Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas all are present in this. That's why the creation is happening. For our creation, all the three gunas are required. All right. That's why this part, where all the three gunas are present, it is being manifested, or it is called Mrityu Loka. Okay. Now we know where we stand. Parāśara tells that whom should we worship and why should we worship should be based on the gunas or the objectives. Okay. Let us say someone wants to um, be a writer, or someone wants to be a singer, good singer, someone wants to be a good dancer. Then who is he going to worship? He is going to worship Param Brahma. Okay. Or Bhushakti. Who is Bhushakti? Bhushakti is Saraswati. All right. Shri Shakti is Mahalakshmi. Nila Shakti is Kali. So this is the derivation of the three primary gods and the three primary goddess of Hinduism. For Rajas Guna, it is Param Brahma and Saraswati. For Sattva Guna, it is Mahavishnu and Mahalakshmi. For Tamas Guna, it is Shadashiva and Kali. Now, if someone wants to be a good dancer, he wants to be a good singer, he is going to worship Saraswati. Why? Because uh, for creation of a song, for creation of a painting, you need a lot of energy. That energy will come through Rajas Guna, and the Devi of Rajas Guna is Saraswati. Okay. Now, let us say someone wants to conceive a child, but she is not able to conceive. Then also she is going to worship Saraswati. Why? Because Saraswati is holding all the rasas for the creation. There are sapta rasas. There are seven kind of rasas um, that constitute to a human being, or produce a human being. Okay, and Saraswati is holding all that rasas. So if we can identify the rasa of the baby that is going to come, and we can give the food to the mother of that particular rasa, then she will conceive. Hmm? And how are we going to see the rasa? How are we going to identify that? We are going to see that from D7 chart, Saptamsha. Okay, Saptamsha is for children, right? Okay. You can see uh, when a lady gets pregnant, she will develop a affinity for a particular taste like sweet, sour. Okay, and that taste or that rasa defines the guna of the uh, baby that is going to come. So if we can identify the rasa, then we can help the lady in the process of conceive. Okay, so that's how we use that knowledge. Wherever you need to control the energy, you need to worship Saraswati. Whenever one wants to sing beautifully, but she is not able to, then she should worship Saraswati, because all that comes under Rajas Guna. You need to produce something. Creation is under Rajas Guna. Creation is happening because of Rajas Guna. For creation, you need a lot of energy, control over lot of energy. Okay. Let us say someone wants to, uh, someone's father has a big business. Now the son has to take over. Then the son should worship Mahavishnu or Lakshmi to maintain what has been created. Father has created the business. Now the son has to maintain the business or even expand the business. Then he will worship Mahavishnu or Lakshmi because of Sattva Guna. If he worship them, he will get Sattva Guna. Sattva Guna is all about maintenance. All right. If you want to sustain your marriage, then you should worship Mahavishnu or Lakshmi. Okay. If you if you are married and worship Saraswati, then you will uh, may get another girlfriend. Okay, leave that. Let us say, come to Tamas Guna. Okay, let us say your mind is not resilient enough to go out. Okay, if you are a salesman but you cannot speak, okay, so what will happen? You will suffer. Okay, you will have a lot of insecurity inside. Hmm? And how are you going to remove those insecurity? You have to worship Shiva or Kali. Why? Kali, Kali's other name is Abhayadatri. Abhaya means removal of all the fear. Okay, she will remove all the ignorance from your heart. If you worship Shiva, he will give you knowledge, and with that knowledge, you will remove the ignorance. Okay, tamas guna, removal of tamas guna with the help of Shiva and Kali. So that's how you should worship the gods according to the objectives, what you want. All right. Another particular thing, you see, this is 1/8, right? 1/8 part of Narayan. This is 7/8. Okay. Now, what is the maximum brain capacity that you can use? 1/8 into 100. What it is? 12.5, right? So 12.5 is the highest brain capacity that we can use. We cannot transcend this line, right? We cannot go above this line. This is 12.5. So maximum we can use 12.5. Okay. Even geniuses like Einstein or the other scientists, their maximum brain capacity is 3. Maximum is 3. Ordinary people like us use 1 to 2. Okay. So what can we do to improve our brain capacity? Okay. Not improve the brain capacity, but improve the usage of the brain capacity. We have to worship Vasudeva, right? He is the overlord of this part. So if we take the name of Vasudeva or Krishna, okay, particularly Vasudeva, the name Vasudeva, then we can use our brain more. All right. Now come to 33 Devatas. Who are these 33 Devatas? We know that the Mrityu Loka is under Vishnu, right? And Vishnu has appointed 33 Devatas to take care of his world, to take care of the creation, sustenance, and destruction of the human beings of the Mrityu Loka. Okay. So the function of 33 Devata is sustenance, creation, and destruction. Now, what do you mean by Devata? Devata, root word is Divu. Divu means giver of light or knowledge. Someone who can give us light. If a teacher is teaching us and he is giving us knowledge, he is a Devata for us. Okay. So like that. Whoever can give us knowledge, he is a Devata for us. Now let us see who are these 33 Devatas. The 33 prime or the original sources of light or original sources of knowledge. If we can identify that and we can pray to them, then we can get all the knowledge in the world. Let us say, let us see who are these 33 Devatas. They are 8 Vasus, 12 Ādityas, 11 Rudras, 1 Indra, 1 Prajāpati. Okay, total 33. 8 Vasus are responsible for Srishti. Okay, Srishti or creation. Ādityas are responsible for 12 Ādityas are responsible for sustenance, and Rudras are responsible for distractions. 11 Rudras are responsible for distractions. Indra and Prajapati are also agent of life. We will see what are the functions of Indra and Prajapati. Okay, so this is the list of 33 Devatas: Ashtavasu, Dwadasa Aditya, and Ekadasha Rudra. We will learn about them in details, and we will also understand the process of creation, sustenance, and destruction. So the first part is Srishti, and the Devata responsible for that is Ashtavasu. Okay, Ashtavasu. For the creation of a human being, four principles are required. They are soul, mind, and body. And the last part is destiny. Okay, for a creation of for a human being, the soul is very important. Around the soul, we will create our mind and the body. Okay, and this human being that has been created must fulfill some destiny or bhagya, or he has to do some karma. So these are the four primary principles. Sun is responsible for soul. Moon is responsible for mind. Our mind is created from moon. Our deha or the body is being created from the pancha tattvas. Five tattvas are required to create our body. Okay, and the destiny is coming from the 27 nakshatras. Okay, the destiny is in nakshatras. Okay, so how many planets are there in our Jyotish? We have 9 planets, right? We have 9 planets. So sun, the first one is sun. It is responsible for creation, for soul. Moon is responsible for our mind, and pancha tattvas are responsible for our body. These are the two derivation of two grahas or two planets. And here pancha tattva is responsible for body. Let us see what is pancha tattva. See, in physics, we have always learned that there are three states of being. One is solid, liquid, and gas. Okay, solid, liquid, and gas. So in our body also there will be solid matter, there will be liquid, there will be gas, right? So the all the solid particles that are inside our body are controlled by Mercury. It is called Prithvi Tattva. Okay, what are the solids that are in our body? That are our skin, our bones, our hair, everything. Everything that we can touch and sense that, yes, I can touch it. That is Prithvi Tattva, right? All this Prithvi Tattva is under control of Mercury. Okay, Mercury is a very important planet. If you have weak Mercury, you don't have strength in your body. You will not have strength in your body. Your skin also comes under Mercury, right? If Mercury is weak, you have wrinkles in your skin. Okay, your scalps can be damaged. That is also coming under Mercury, Prithvi Tattva. If your bones are breaking easily, then your Prithvi Tattva is very weak. Solid parts of our body is Prithvi Tattva. Then the second state is liquid, right? All the liquid system in our body is controlled by Venus. It is called Jala Tattva. It is Jala Tattva. Then gaseous. The third state is gaseous state. Saturn. It is Vayu Tattva. We are inhaling air, we are exhaling out. For some time, it becomes the part of our body, right? That is Saturn. Okay, all the gases. You are eating something, then in your stomach it is getting digested. So a lot of gases are being produced inside your body. All these come under Saturn or Vayu Tattva. Okay, now you know that there are three states, but they are dead, right? They don't have any energy. Hmm? If a solid is there, so this is a solid particle. So if I keep it here in my hand, it cannot move, right? But our hands are moving. Our hands is a My hand is a solid particle, solid thing, solid Prithvi Tattva. How is it moving? Why it is not moving? This thing is not moving. It is also solid because my hand has some energy, right? Hmm? So where is that energy coming from? That energy is coming from that Agni Tattva or Mars. So Mars is responsible for giving energy to this all the three states: solid, liquid, and gas. He is animating these three tattvas. Okay. If Mars is not there, you don't have any energy inside your body. That's why Mars is the significator of energy, Agni Tattva. So now we know the four grahas. Saturn we know, Mars we know, Venus, Mercury. Saturn, Venus, Mercury are three states: solid, liquid, and gas. And Mars is providing energy to these three tattvas, or animating these three tattvas. Now come to the fifth tattva, or Akash tattva. Akash tattva is controlled by Jupiter, and the function of Akash tattva is to hold all the four tattvas together. Why my hands are not separated from me? There is something holding all these things together, right? Our hands, our eyes, our face, everything is in proper place. Who is doing that? It is a function of Jupiter or Akash tattva. Okay? So like that, you see, there are five tattvas, three states. One is the Agni tattva is animating all the tattvas, and Akash tattva is holding all the four. So like that, our body is being created. Okay, five tattvas and five grahas. Akash tattva, Jupiter is responsible for the Akash tattva. Vayu tattva is Saturn. Agni tattva is Mars. Jala is controlled by Venus. Prithvi is controlled by Mercury. Okay, so these are five. This is two: Sun and Moon, which are responsible for soul and mind, and these five are responsible for our body. Total seven. So seven planets have been covered. The derivation of seven planets have been covered. Rahu and Ketu, we will come to that. The rest two is Rahu and Ketu, so we will come to that. The fourth principle, or the destiny, is controlled by the nakshatras, or the 27 nakshatras, or 28 nakshatras. 28 being the Abhijit nakshatra. Okay. So like that, this is the derivation and functions of Ashtavasu. Now, if we want to chant a mantra that can calm down all that eight vasus, okay, our soul, our mind, our body, all should have been remedy to calm down all these three. So what mantra should we do? We should do the mantra Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay, Vasudevaya, Vasu. Okay, if you take that name or the mantra, all the Vasus will become favorable to you. Okay, Vasus are also sources of light, right? If you chant that mantra, you can attain a lot of knowledge. If you have bad Prithvi Tattva, Mercury, if you have bad. So, how to maintain the Prithvi Tattva? You will learn. If you chant the mantra, all the knowledge will come. If you have bad relationship, that means you have weak Jala Tattva. If you chant the mantra, you will know how to maintain the relationship. Okay. If you have gas problems inside your body, you have constipation issues. So Vayu Tattva inside your body is disturbed. So if you chant the mantra, then you will find how to maintain the proper knowledge you will get. If Jupiter is afflicted, then you don't know how to hold things, how to maintain things. Akash is all about holding things. Hmm? In a family, if people are always fighting, that means there is weak Akash Tattva in the family. That's why they are not coming together. Akash Tattva is all about coming together. That's why if you have good Jupiter, that you will have a lot of fat, because the fat molecules inside your body doesn't want to leave your body. Okay. But if you have Vayu Tattva, high Vayu Tattva, Saturn, then it is gas, right? Gas means less density. The particles are going everywhere. Then what will happen? You will become lean and thin. If you have high Agni Tattva, what will happen? If you have high Agni Tattva is inimical to Prithvi Tattva. If you put your hand on the fire, what will happen? Your hand will burn, right? Your skin will burn. Then a bad smell will come. So if you have high Agni Tattva, then chances are your skin can get damaged. Hmm? Foul smell will come from your body also. That's why people with pitta dosa, high pitta, will have foul smell coming from their body also. So like that. Let us move to the uh, second part. This is Sthiti or the Dvadasaditya. We know how the human being has been created. Now we will see how a human being can be maintained from birth to death. This is the longest cycle, right? Creation is 1 second, death is 1 second. Rest is all about sthiti. So the whole human life is all about maintenance, all the or the Dvadasaditya. So this is the most important part. Okay, so let us understand what is Dvadasaditya or how the human beings are being sustained. So when a baby is being born, huh, so he will need a lot of he will need a environment, right, to grow. Huh? He will need his friends. He will need his mama. He will need his dad. He will when he gets up, grows up. He will need a girlfriend. Then he will get a wife. He will need his children. So all the environment that has been created around you comes under Dvadasaditya or the Sthiti. Okay, to sustain you, you need a environment, and that environment is being provided by the Dvadasaditya. In that environment, there will be living things like your relatives and non-living things like things that you possess, your properties, your money, your if you love gadgets, your laptops, your TVs, whatever thing, all the things that you can possess, non-living things or living things, all will be provided by Dvadasaditya. Okay? Their job is to provide you all these things. They will provide. Vishnu has ordered them to do that. Okay. Humans are social beings to sustain life on Bhuloka. They form groups, relationships, companionships. Everything required for this process, whether living or non-living, is provided by the Dvadasa Aditya. Hmm. Dvadasa Aditya are the distributor of food and all the material required for Srishti, creation and sustenance. They bestow dana, mother. Mother means inspiration, exhilaration, intoxication, Maithuna Sakti, sexual vitality, or vigor. All these things are being provided by the Dwadas Aditya. The Adityas are the givers, and all the material existence originates from them. Therefore, Dwadas Aditya represents all the material form of creation. Okay, let us say you are not getting a job. Hmm? You are not getting a job, so you want a job. So whom should you worship? You should worship Aditya, right? Hmm? Then you will open your chart. Then you will see the sign coming under the 10th house. Then you will worship that Aditya. When you worship that Aditya, you will get job or some work to do. Hmm? If you uh, let us say you are Scorpio ascendant. Hmm? You are Scorpio ascendant and you are looking for a wife. Hmm? Then you will look into the 7th house and see the sign in the 7th house, that is Taurus. Then you will see who is the Aditya of that sign. For Taurus, it is Aryaman. Then you have to worship Aryaman Aditya to give you a wife because he is the one who has taken the responsibility to give you the wife. Hmm. Let us say someone doesn't have any friend. So he will look into the 11th house or the third house. Third house is siblings. But let us say you are a 25-year-old, but you want a friend. Then also, if you choose the third house, then he is not going to give you a sibling. He is going to give you a friend and more close friend, more than the 11th house. 11th house is more like social gatherings. Hmm. You don't want to. You want to maintain the relationship, but you are not very close to them. That is the 11th house. Third house is more intimate. Okay, you are like brothers. Okay? So if you want a friend like that, then you will pray to the third house, Aditya of the third house. Let us say you are Capricorn Lagna. So the third house is Pisces, and the Aditya for that is Vishnu. Then you have to pray to the Vishnu Aditya. Then he will give you a brother like that or a friend like that. You want to produce babies, you have to look the Rashi in the fifth house. Then identify the Aditya and pray to that Aditya in the morning. You have to worship them in the morning. So I have listed out all the Rashis and the Adityas. Mesha, for Mesha Rashi, it is Dhata Aditya. For Taurus, it is Aryaman. For Gemini, it is Mitra. For Cancer, it is Varuna. For Leo, it is Indra. So like that, there are 12 Rashis and 12 Adityas. You can read them and identify your Aditya and pray to that Aditya so that you can get what you want. Hmm. Here is the picture of Aditya. He says, I can give you everything, but you need to ask me with the right mantra. Hmm. Here is a person who is sitting in the room and daydreaming. Huh? He is dreaming of a girlfriend, of money, of cars. Let us say you want a car. So where are you going to look? You are looking at the fourth house. Who is the Aditya of the fourth house? You are going to pray to that Aditya. Hmm. Let us say uh, you want a godfather or a guru. Then you will look at the ninth house, identify the Aditya, pray to the Aditya, then you will get that guru. Hmm. So what is the mantra? Depending on the need, one should invoke the concerned Aditya with the right mantra. Om Grini Surya Aditya. Okay. Om Grini Surya Aditya. Now, let us say you want to pray to Vishnu Aditya. So instead of Surya, you use Vishnu. Okay. Om Grini Vishnu Aditya. Let us say you want to worship Bhaga Aditya. Bhaga Aditya. Then you will chant Om Grini Bhaga Aditya. So like that. So like that, the Srishti or the Dwadas Adityas should be worshipped in the daytime. Normally 108 times you can chant that mantra. Every day you can chant that. It will be nice. Okay. Okay. Now come to Samhara or the Ekadasha Rudra. Nice picture, huh? Samhara or Ekadasha Rudra. Samhara, what do you mean by Samhara? Samhara means destruction. Something is going to be destroyed. What is going to be destroyed? Something that has been created and sustained for a long time. Now it is time to destroy that thing. And who is going to destroy that? Ekadasha Rudra. Okay. You remember? Acha, acha, I forgot. Here the seven planets we derived, right? Sun, Moon, and the uh, five Tattva Grahas. Here, I forgot to mention about the 12 Rashis, right? Everything, the Rashis are coming from the Rashi, right? Your friend, your wife, your work, everything are coming from the Rashis. The environment that has been formed around you are coming from the 12 Rashis of your zodiac or your Jata. Hmm? Now tell me why there are only 12 Rashis, why not 13? It is an important question, right? Why not 13? You see, uh, in a whole year, there are only 12 Amavasya or 12 full moons. That's why there are only 12 Rashis. Okay. See, in Amavasya, what is happening in Amavasya? The sun and the moon are in same degree. This is the sun, this is the moon. They are together. Like father and mother are together and creation is happening. Hmm. Now tell me, after how many time again you will see the Amavasya? 30 days, right? After again 30 days, you will see Amavasya. So one Amavasya to another Amavasya or one creation to another creation is 30 days. Okay. Now tell me how much degree that the sun covers in the 30 days. In 30 days, sun will cover 30 degrees, right? In each day, sun will cover 1 degree. How do you know that? How do you know sun covers 1 degree each day? Right? The whole is 360-degree, right? The whole zodiac is 360-degree, and sun goes around all the 360 degrees, all the 12 Rashis in 365 days or 1 year. So each day he will be covering approximately 1 degree. So in 30 days, he will be covering 30 degrees approximately. So these 30 degrees is important. This 30 degrees is defined as one Rashi, or from one creation to another creation. Duration from one creation to another creation is one Rashi. Okay. And how many such Rashis can be there? One Rashi is 30 degrees, so 360 degree by 30. That is 12 Rashis, right? So this is the derivation of 12 Rashis. Why there cannot be 13 Rashi or 14 Rashi, only 12 Rashis. Okay. All right. And from these Rashis, the Ādityas are coming, and the Ādityas are giving us the all the living and non-living things, or the environment they are creating to for us to enjoy that. Hmm. Sustenance is all about enjoyment. So if you want to enjoy a lot of things, you need to worship the Aditya. If you can't worship the Aditya, how are you going to enjoy the life? Okay. Now come to Samhara or Ekadasha Rudra. So a baby has been born. He has lived his life. The Sthiti part is also covered. Now it is time to Samhara or destruction. Who is going to destroy? We have covered the seven planets: Sun, Moon, and the five Grahas. Sun, Moon, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Saturn, Venus. The other two are Rahu and Ketu, right? So Rahu and Ketu are responsible for destruction. This Rahu, here. This Rahu and Ketu. These are the two Daityas. You can't say Daitya, but two Grahas or Chaya Graha. Hmm. Actually, they are not Chaya actually. We say that Rahu and Ketu are shadowy planets, but to even have a shadow, you need a body, right? So Rahu and Ketu doesn't even have the body. Then the shadow word is wrong, a little wrong. It should be invisible planets. Rahu and Ketu are invisible planets. And they are trying to destroy all these things, what has been created. Okay. Now, to prevent that destruction, there are Ekadasha Rudra. 11 Rudras. Rudra is holding the being, or the human being is uh, going behind Rudra to seek protection from this to Rahu and Ketu. So if you have been troubled by planets like Rahu and Ketu, you should worship Rudra. Hmm? You should worship Rudra. Now, let us understand what is the meaning of Rudra. Rudra derives from the verbal word Rud, to weep. Hmm? Ekadasha Rudra are so called because their departure signifies the death of the native, causing the near and dear ones to weep. So, Rudras are protecting you from this too. But if they don't favor you, or they turn their faces away from you, hmm, then you will die. These two will attack you. So it is very important to have the Rudras in our favor so that we don't weep in our life. We don't cry in our life. Huh? Somebody's girlfriend has been stolen from him, then he will cry. Someone like Rahu and Ketu has taken away his girlfriend, or he has a beautiful car. Now some thug has stolen that. He will cry. So if you don't want to face situations like this, then you have to worship Rudra. Okay. See, why there are only 11 Rudras? Why not 12? We knew that there are only Dvadas Aditya. There are 12 Adityas. But why there are only 11 Rudras? Hmm? You see, there are 12 Rashis, right? I derived you 12 Rashis. And out of these 12 Rashis, you should have one Janma Rashi. Somebody is born in Virgo. So his moon is in Virgo, right? So that Rashi is giving you birth. That Rashi is like your mother. So that Rashi cannot kill you. Mother cannot kill you. So death can come from all the other 11 Rashis. Hmm? All the other 11 Rashis except the Janma Rashi. And to prevent death or to fight death from coming from all the 11 Rashis, there are 11 Rudras or Ekadasha Rudra. Okay. Now you know why there are 11 Rudras. I have derived it for you. All the things that I have talked in the first slide, hmm, I have all derived that. I derived all those things. Now, the 11 Rudra are defined as Deva. 10 of these Rudras are responsible for holding the prana within the body and sustaining the breathing. The 11th Rudra is called Maheshwara and is responsible for separating the Manas from the Atma. Okay. Out of the 11 Rudras, okay, 10 Rudras are responsible for your well-being or the vitality, or they are responsible for your life in this Mrityu Loka. The 11th Rudra, Maheshwara, is responsible for life after death. After you die, he is coming. Hmm? What he is doing? He is removing the mind from the soul. Hmm. You see, you have heard a word called spirit or ghost. Hmm? If you have apamrityu, if you have apamrityu, your ghost is hovering around this earth because your lifetime has not been fulfilled. So until that time comes, you will be like a ghost hovering around it, in the form of spirit. The spirit has mind plus the soul, mind and soul. He doesn't have the body. It is called spirit. Hmm. So उसको मोक्ष कैसे दोगे? You want that ghost to go away. So how are you going to do that? If you can separate the mind from that soul, then the ghost is gone. Huh? And who is doing the separation of mind and soul? It is Maheshwara. So if you can worship, if death has happened in your family and you don't want that person to suffer, then you should worship Maheshwara. You should pray to Maheshwara so that the Atma get mukti. Hmm? His mind and soul get separated and he gets mukti. Okay, Maheshwara is very important. Out of all the Rudras, he is the most auspicious one. He has got the most difficult job. Okay, the two nodes of moon, Rahu and Ketu, are the destroyers. Yes, these are the destroyers. They are the. Why do you think Rahu and Ketu are being called destroyers? आपके पास एक रसगुल्ला है. Now you want to destroy that rasgulla. How are you going to destroy that? Either you eat it, भोग लिया, उसको भोग दिया राहु, और उसको त्याग दिया केतु, किसी और को दे दिया वो रसगुल्ला. So like that, these are the Rahu and Ketu. These are the two processes, either bhoga or tyaga. That these are the two processes that can destroy, bhoga and tyaga, Rahu and Ketu. These are the two nodes of moon. Okay, Rahu actually destroys the Dwadas Adityas. Okay, how it is destroying? Rahu is destroying actually the Dwadas Aditya or the 12 signs and the luminaries, sun and moon. Rahu is destroying them. Hmm? Dwadas Aditya is responsible for Sthiti, sustenance, and luminaries, soul and the mind. And Ketu is destroying the Panchatattva or the body and destiny, and the nakshatra also. He's also destroying that. These are not important to remember. I just wanted to write that. Okay. Now tell me, how are you going to worship those Rudras so that Rahu and Ketu doesn't bother you? Hmm? What mantra should I do? How should I pray to this Ekadasha Rudra? Either you chant Rudra Chamakam, it is very good, or you can chant Rudra Gāyatrī in the evening. In the afternoon, you can chant Rudra Gāyatrī. Then it will remove all the sansarika danda, all the torture that you are going through in your life, all of that danda or the punishment will go away by by the chanting of Rudra Gayatri. Om Tatpurushaya Vidmahe Mahadevaya Dhimahi Tanno Rudra Prachodayat. That is Rudra Gayatri. If you can chant this mantra in the evening, it is good. So this is the remedy for Rahu and Ketu. Okay, now come to the Prajapati. We have covered all the 31 Devatās, 8 Ashtavasu, 12 Ādityas, and Ekadasha Rudra. 31 Devata we have covered. Now only 2 Devatas are remaining. One is Prajapati, another one is Indra. Okay, let us say when a child is born or a human being is born, हाँ, उसको क्या ऐसे ही छोड़ देते हैं? He should have some buddhi, right? Some knowledge, some cognition. Not cognition. Cognition is coming from the fourth house, but buddhi or the gyan. How is he going to live the life if he doesn't have any gyan or buddhi? So buddhi is very important. Buddhi or jnana, and it is given or it is given to the human by the grace of Prajapati. What do you mean by Prajapati? Prajapati means Praja means subjects. Okay, and Pati means the Lord. Prajapati means the creator who is giving birth to all human beings, the first of all the kind. Like Christianity has Adam and Eve, right? Adam is the first male, Eve is the first female. Similarly, in our Hinduism, we have Manu. Manu is the Prajapati. Manu is the first of all the human beings. From Manu, all the human beings are created. From his buddhi, we are getting some parts of his buddhi. He is getting divided, right? As the creation is happening, as lot of human beings are being produced, his body is being distributed. His buddhi is being distributed. Hmm. So we each have some part of Manu. Okay, and where is Manu or Prajapati sitting in our chart? He is sitting in the Lagna or the first house. Okay, you have heard the word yet pin. What is that? Mm, I forgot that. Leave it. The union of Sky Father or Earth Mother at the eastern horizon symbolizes birth. Hence, Rasi rising in the eastern direction becomes the Lagna. Okay, so when you go to a beach and look at the eastern horizon, you will see that the sky and the water is being merged. They are meeting in the eastern direction, and from the east, sun is rising. So, sunrise is signifying the birth, and sunset in the opposite direction, the western direction, is signifying death. Okay, and that this is happening in outside world, and in the inside world, it is Lagna. In the eastern direction, it is Lagna. Our birth is happening because of Lagna. When you take birth, whatever sign is in the eastern direction will become your Lagna. Lagna is a point, the eastern direction for you. Okay. And Prajapati is sitting there because he is showing the creation. Okay. Savitur, that is the name of the sun god. When the sun is rising, he is also a Prajapati. He is also a Prajapati. Now in Jyotish, Prajapati is represented by Lagna. Lagna is the point where Atman assumes the physical existence. Without Lagna, there is no definition of individual. बस 12 के 12 तुमने एक चार्ट बना लिया, but there is no Lagna. Do you think that is a chart of a human being? No, right? For a human being, the Lagna has to be defined. Okay. It determines who is born, where one is born, and how the life is beginning. Your condition of birth or the initial stages of the life, your identity is defined by the Lagna. What is your identity? Uh, one of your personalities is your buddhi, right? Persona, what do you mean by persona? Persona means a sheath or a covering that you are wearing. Okay, one of that is buddhi or the intelligence. There are four kind of personas. Hmm? Buddhi, mana, ahankar, and chitta. There are four antakarana and or the four sheets or the four personas that you have. So one of that is buddhi. You can identify with your lagna, right? One of the way to identify is lagna. Okay. Prajapati and buddhi. Lagna as Prajapati bestows buddhi, intelligence, and discernment. What is good for me? What is right for me? All these things you will decide from the lagna. If you have sun in lagna, you will like the people uh, who are in power. Hmm? You will like them. You will be a conformist. If sun is in lagna, you will be a conformist. If Saturn is in lagna, you become a pessimist. All the time crying. Hmm? If you have Mars in lagna, you are an aggressive fellow. You want to fight all the time. Your buddhi is like that. Hmm. And if you have Venus, you are a romantic. You want to enjoy all the things. If you have Moon in the lagna, you are emotional. So the identity or the identity, one of the persona is coming from the lagna. How you are using all the information that you have been attained is lagna. Let us say you see four rasgullas on the table. If you have Jupiter in lagna, you like this, you will like sweets. You will eat them. If you have Mars in lagna, you won't like sweets. You will like actually the bitter foods like Karela. Hmm. So if you have Mars in lagna and you see rasgullas, you won't eat it. You have attained the information that there is food, but do you like the food and do you not? What will you do with the food? Will be decided from the lagna. Hmm. So that's how the intelligence and discernment are coming. Hmm. If you have Mars in lagna and you see you are going on a road and you see a person has fallen down, he needs help. If you have Mars in lagna, you will go and help them. That is your intelligence. If you have Jupiter in lagna, you will tell your other the person behind you or with you, go and help that person. So like that, your all the intelligence is defined by the lagna. What what you want, what you like, all these things are coming from lagna. These are the blessings of Prajapati. Your decision making power. This you are making decisions here, right? With your intelligence, all the decision making power is coming under Prajapati. So if you have the blessing of Prajapati, your decision making power will be excellent. So we should worship the Prajapati. Okay, let's see what else. It governs the learning capacity, how much you can learn. You see, um, you will see people who are autistic. What happens when you suffer from autism? You don't have learning capabilities. Hmm. Whatever you try to teach them, they won't learn. Hmm. जो पहले से आ गया है वो आ गया है. They are good at it, but they won't learn anything new. That is the problem of Lagna. You will try to find autism from Jupiter and here and there. No, it won't work. If the Lagna is weak, then autism can come. Because Lagna defines your learning capacity. How much Akash can you hold? Hmm. How much can you learn? If your Lagna is weak, you cannot learn. But the usage of that, uh, what you have learned, is not from Lagna. It is from Jupiter. Okay. The learning capacity, the potential is from Lagna, but the usage of that is from Jupiter. Okay. Procreative capacities, the vitality of the body is also coming from Lagna. That's why Lagna Lord is in Lagna. They say that there will be two marriages. Okay. Procreative capacity. What do you mean by procreative capacity? Do you think that just having sex is all about procreative capacity? No, no, it can't be. The ability to take responsibility for more and more people is Lagna. If you have if your Lagna is very strong, you can take responsibility for a lot of people. If you produce a lot of children, then you have to take a lot of responsibility, right? That's how you can see. Right? The expression of individuality also comes from Lagna or Prajapati. Worship of Prajapati purifies and refines the buddhi. Okay, your buddhi is being refined or purified by Prajapati. Worship of Prajapati. Savitur Gayatri is addressed to Savitur as Prajapati or the progenitor of the all beings. Okay, if you can worship the Savitur or Prajapati as Savitur, your Lagna will be purified. That's why Gayatri mantra is very important. Okay, it is making your Lagna strong, not your sun strong. No, sun is not being strengthened by Gayatri. It is Lagna that is being purified. That's why all the Brahmanas has to chant Gayatri every day. Brahmana doesn't mean by caste. Brahmana means who has to use his mind for his work. For them, the decision making abilities are very important. If you are a counselor and you have to take a lot of decision for your client, if you have weak Lagna, then your decision making will be wrong. So it is important that Lagna should be strengthened by worship of Gayatri. Tatsaviturvarenyam Vargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Okay, that is the mantra given by Vishwamitra. It is mentioned in Rig Veda. Okay. This is all about Prajapati. I hope you have understood this. Now come to the last Devata, the most, क्या बोलते हैं इसको, बदनाम देवता. It is Indra. Hmm? Here, Indra is ruling the 10th house. Prajapati is sitting in the first house. Okay, Lagna. Indra is sitting in the 10th house and he is ruling the karma. You have taken rebirth, you have got your Lagna or Buddhi, but what you will do? You are here to dissolve some karma, right? You have to do some work. All that thing, all the karmas are being directed by Indra through the 10th house. Okay, Indra is the Adhipati or the of the Indriyas or the senses. We human being have 10 senses, Pancha Gyanendriya or Pancha and Pancha Karmendriya. 5 senses for to receive information, Gyanendriya, or and 5 Karmendriyas to do our work. Okay, 10 Indriyas we have. Through the Indriyas, mind perceives the information 4th house, which generate impulses that lead to action. That is the 10th house. So, gathering information from the outer world, that is the function of the 4th house. And when you gather some information, it will create some impulse in your mind. That is the 10th house. It is called Chitta. It is called Chitta. This 4th house is called Manas. Manas is responsible for taking in information, gathering information. The processing of that information is being done in the 10th house. Okay, and when you process that information, then you will do some work. Without processing that, how can you do work? Let us say I want to do uh, some work like presenting this uh, fundamental of Jyotish class. So I have to make some presentation. I have gathered information, then I have made some presentation. When I gather the information, I visualize how can I present that. That is all happening in the 10th house, in my chitta. I am imagining all these things in the chitta. Chitta is like a memory bank. All the things that you have gathered and you have stored in somewhere. That is the 10th house. And then you are grinding all that memory, mixing here and there. How can I make it look beautiful? When all that thing are happening, that is the 10th house. It is all coming under the 10th house. Okay. It is the blessing of Indra. If you have blessing of the Indra, your 10th house will be very nice. Okay. But if you have bad planets in the 10th house, like debilitated planets, then it is bad. Hmm? We will go into different planets in the 10th house, but let us see what else can we see from the 10th house. Types of karma: Sanchita karma, Prarabdha karma, and Agami karma. Sanchita karmas are all the debts that we have accumulated over the past lives. All that debts are called Sanchita karma. Prarabdha karma means the portion of Sanchita karma experienced that has to be experienced or dissolved in this present life are called Prarabdha karma. It is like you have taken 10 billion loan from God. That is Sanchita Karma. That is your whole debt, whole past life. But in this life, God is kind. He is saying that now you have to pay me in EMIs. In this birth, you have to pay me 1 million. That is Prarabdha Karma. 1 million. Sanchita is 10 billion. Agami Karma is the new karmas that created through present thoughts, words, and actions. They are come under Agami Karma. So this is the division of karmas. Okay, Agami Karma is are we doing good work? Then our Prarabdha is getting destroyed. If we are doing bad work, then it is adding into the Prarabdha. This is all. This is the division, and all this are happening in the 10th house. Okay, it is all stored in our chitta. All the impressions of the Sanchita Karma, Prarabdha Karma, Agami Karma, all the impressions are stored in the 10th house, not in the 4th house. Okay, I have seen people thinking that all the impressions are in the 4th house. No, it is in the 10th house. Okay, 10th house acts as a memory bank or chitta, preserving all the impression created through actions and experience. Okay, Dasama Bhava reveals the nature of one's karma and direction it takes, whether towards Unnati, Swarga, or Avanati, or Narka. Swarga and Narka are ultimately states of experience arising within the mind. If you do good karma, then 10th house become your Swarga. See, Indra is in the 10th house. That means 10th house is Swarga. The another name for 10th house is Swarga. That's why the D10 chart, which is responsible for the 10th house, is called Swargamsa. Hmm. Okay, it is also called Swargamsha. See, the planet in the 10th house will tell you, are you going to feel you are in Swarga or in Narka? Like if you have malefics in the 10th house, like Mars, Sun, Ketu, then you have made those planet Indra. The planet in the 10th house will behave as a Indra. So the control over all the Indriyas are given to this planet, one planet. If you have Mars in the 10th house, your Indra is telling you to destroy things. Mars is the destroyer, right? Anything that you touch, it will be get destroyed. Ketu is same, also same. Sun is better. All the Agni Grahas are very fast in nature. You like to work very fast. How you work? Are you work? Do you work very fast, or do you take a lot of time to work? Are you if you have if you have Rahu and Saturn in the 10th house, you take a lot of time to do work. You do a lot of planning and plotting. That is Vayu planets, Saturn and Rahu in the 10th house. If you have Moon and Venus, watery planets in the 10th house, they have become your Indra. That is the best. You take your own time doing your work. Venus in the 10th house, you take a lot of breaks, recreation happening in the 10th house. In the office, you take a lot of sutta break, chai break, every break. That is Venus in the 10th house. Moon in the 10th house, also good. Hmm? Moon in the 10th house is also good. It is like a bull, Moon in the 10th house. They will sit and sit, and once they get up, they will do all the work. That is Moon in the 10th house. Mood हो गया तो काम करेंगे. That is Moon in the 10th house. Okay, so like that. So if you are into breaking things like Mars, Ketu, hmm, so then the experience will be like Narka. You are doing all the things. That's why you will cry. When you realize that, no, I don't have to destroy the outer things. I have to destroy all the uh, weaknesses inside. When you realize that, then life becomes easy. When malefics are there in the 10th house, that is the challenge. Okay. Benefics in the 10th house is very nice. Jupiter in the 10th house is extremely brilliant. I have seen people talking in the internet telling that Jupiter is debilitated in the 10th house. Jupiter is debilitated in the Capricorn, not in the 10th house. Jupiter in the 10th house means you have made Jupiter as your Indra. How is that bad? It is the best position. You are like a guru to everyone. You are the best at consulting because your Indriyas are telling you to consult things. If you have Mercury in the 10th house, you have to gather a lot of information before doing work. Mercury is information gathering, right? So like that. We will discuss that in the coming videos. Okay. Now let's leave. Planet in the 10th house, if none, the 10th lord. If there are no planets in the 10th house, then the 10th lord will behave as Indra and direct the individual's chitta. Okay. When you go back to sleep, okay, when you sleep, the whole day comes to your mind, right? You recall all those things. Recalling is happening in the 10th house, not in the 4th house. Information gathering is happening in the 4th house. So if your 4th house is afflicted, then information gathering is bad. 10th house is that information processing is bad. So like that. If you have bad planets in the 10th house, you always want to beat people. Malefics in the 10th house. Saturn in the 10th house wants to take revenge all the time. Mars in the 10th house wants to beat people every time. Ketu in the 10th house also same. So the planet in the 10th house is extremely crucial. That's why planet in the 10th house can also define your personality. Planet in the first house, 10th house, 7th house, 4th house. All the four can define your personality. That's why they are kendras. Right now, we are only learning about Lagna and 10th house because Lagna is giving us the Jnana and 10th house giving us the Karma. We will, in further classes, we will also learn about 4th house and 10th house. Okay. Indra and Prajāpati, we have covered because they are the Devatās. Now, what can you do to satisfy Indra? Okay, you have to worship Indra in some manner. The Avatara mantra of the planet acting as Indra aligns one's karma with dharma, leading to Swarga and away from Narka. So you have to remember one thing: if a planet gets exalted, it will act like Jupiter. I told you Jupiter acts best in the 10th house. Jupiter is best in the 10th house. So if you have Mars in the 10th house, how can you convert that Mars into Jupiter? So you have to exalt that Mars by chanting the mantra of the Avatara connected to Mars. So you have to, who is the avatar connected to Mars? Narasimha Deva. So you have to find out the mantra for them, for him, and chant that mantra. Then your Mars will act as a Jupiter. So like that. I want Jupiter in the 10th house, not any other planet. If any other planet is there in the 10th house, then I want to convert that planet into Jupiter by chanting the mantra of the avatar. Okay. So like that, we can remedy the 10th house. Okay. Mm, okay. We have covered all the Devatās. We have known everything from starting to end. Now let's understand something about death. Tripod of life. For life, we understood that we need a soul, we need a mind, and we need a body. Okay. So this tripod is holding the human life. Now, when death happens, one of the legs from this triad will break. Normally, what will happen? Hmm? Normally, what will happen? The soul and the body are leaving the body. This is normal death. This is normal death, right? In normal death, the soul and the mind is leaving the body. Okay. Now, what will happen when the mind, the soul is inside the body? If the soul leaves the body, then ultimately the body is dead. The human is gone. Now, what will happen? The soul is inside the body, but the mind is dead. Mind is Indriyas, right? Indriyas. Moon. What will happen when your mind is dead? You call it coma, right? Medical coma. In medical coma, what is happening? The mind of the person is not working. That's why he cannot uh, gather information. He is lying there in the bed, he is not able to move his hand. He is not able to control his indriyas. Okay, that is medical coma. If the mind is dead, now the mind is there, the soul is there, the body is there. But what happens if another soul wants to attack the soul? He wants to replace this soul. Another wants to replace. what will happen? This is uh, the concept of every horror movie, right? It is called possession. Possession. This is called possession. When another soul wants to enjoy the mind. If another soul can come inside my body, that means he has grasped my mind and he is enjoying my mind. So that is called possession. So these are the three kinds of death. This is the three ways that you can die. Okay. I think I have covered everything from birth to death. I think that's it for the video, and I am stopping the video. If you have any doubt, you can ask me in the comment section. Okay.